Do you want to be a good shark, a shark that's deserving of a pat on the head? Well, look no further than real sharks and eat trash. No, actually, tiger sharks eat apparently full chainmail suits and license plates. It's kinda whack. And in order to get good as a shark, one must become a shark. So, get to munchin'. But for real, why are we gathered here today? Well, I'm actually going to be sharing with you guys a tip that I don't think I've shared before on this channel and has helped me actually get a lot better at depth. This tip is doing no death challenge. Now, this sounds like it might just be some mumbo jumbo hocus pocus stuff.
Magic missile! Magic missile!
But if you actually practice maybe one in every 10, 15, maybe even 20 games to do basically just a game of depth, except you try and die as least often as you can and try and kill as many divers as you can using shark highways, I guarantee you will see a huge improvement in your skill. In fact, one of the biggest things I see about new players and basically what they struggle with is the fact that they just go in the room, they don't even seem to look for an exit, and then they grab a diver trying to kill them, and sometimes they may not even be able to kill the diver, sometimes they might be able to get a trade because they don't know how to escape. But I think these new players should practice a lot more focusing on escapes when grabbing a diver and planning out your whole attack instead of just going in, grabbing the diver being your entire attack strategy. Now, it is important to mention that one, I'm going to get into my match where I actually am practicing this since I do this every so often, but two, you're not going to be able to do a flawless on your first try, especially if you struggle with escaping the room. You're not going to be able to do a flawless no death match, and it's going to take a lot of practice in order to get good at. Anyways, let's get into the match in which I'm basically showcasing myself going through this because I do this as practice here and there, and I'll kind of just show what I do within the match. Now, I'm starting this video off after I got my first kill, totally because the beginning of the matches are boring and not because I made the noobish mistake of forgetting to press record. Yeah, I would never do that or anything. Anyways, as you can see, I'm looking for divers who position themselves inside of shark highways. This is divers that I basically can go through the building like this. I mean, well, not exactly like this, but basically I can go from one entrance to one exit, grabbing the diver and escaping. This is something you're going to want to keep an eye out for the entire time when doing a no-death run. Now, that diver right there, the most recent kill, I took a gamble and luckily it paid off, but it was kind of a risk and you don't really want to do that. Here now, however, you can see that I miss the divers, which this is completely okay. You're going to be having situations like this happen all the time. Now, very quickly, you can see this diver going outside. This is a perfect opportunity for me to grab, and you're going to want to be looking for divers that do stuff like that. They go out at inopportune times for themselves, and you basically grab them. Now, as I was saying, you are going to be missing divers, and that's going to be a good thing because it shows that you're being a lot more conservative of your life rather than focusing on just hard aggression. This is another gamble move, but as you can see, I was moving up and down, or rather, in that case, just down, trying to avoid fire while I was thrashing. It does kind of throw off the divers, and it gives me a chance to escape right after and go to the seals. Unfortunately, my teammate died. However, the diver that went after him kind of overextended, so I was able to grab him. Now, as you can see, I keep positioning myself behind the kind of like the rock walls and stuff like that. All the geometry, I try and hide myself until my moment of attack. And you'll see that throughout actually a lot of these attacks where I only reveal myself when I'm about to do my lunge to attack, and that's because the more time I am an eye shot of the divers, the more risk I'm in. It's literally as simple as that. Anyways, this guy he wasn't exactly in a highway, but I was able to basically move down after grabbing him and turn it into a highway. You're also going to want to be looking for people who do stuff like that because honestly, the likelihood of everyone being in a highway so you can get a perfect flawless is unlikely. You're kind of gonna have to make your own opportunities. Like that guy, he just went inside a shark highway. It was an easy grab. You're gonna get those. They're basically freebies, but other ones you're gonna have to make into a shark highway. This is another easy one. He decided to go out, allowing me to grab him and position myself behind geometry so that the other divers can't shoot me. Now, it is good to be more tactical when doing the no death run, and as you can see, I'm waiting for this opportunity. Luckily, I saw the guy. He was very antsy to get in front of that doorway, likely place a mine or something. But I was keeping an eye on all of them, waiting for someone to go in the Shark Highway. You're definitely going to want to be doing that in no death runs, and as you can see, it paid off. You can just grab them and escape, especially if the other divers aren't quick enough to react. Now, here you can see there's a mine. I decide to blow it up because, I mean, I don't want myself accidentally bumping into it or my teammate dying from it. But unfortunately, he dies to another one. And this is gonna happen. You can't control your teammate. But I mean, hey, he got a trade at least, so it's not like it's a really bad thing. Also, a thing to mention is you definitely want to prepare which safes you want to be more aggressive on throughout each of the matches. Also, I'm about to do a really bad grab here. So, well, it's not necessarily a bad grab, but it was an extremely risky one because there wasn't really a Shark Highway there. I kind of just had to utilize on my pressing spacebar while thrashing in order to survive. But yeah, you really want to be preparing which safes you want to be more aggressive on, and that's the ones with more Shark Highways. For example, this one has a good amount of Shark Highways. Also, there's a mine, so I try and blow it up. Also, right there, I remember I felt so much panic. I just accidentally almost walked into another mine, and I really had to quick think, dodge out of it. It was actually almost the end of my run. But yeah, as you can see, I just keep grabbing divers through Shark Highways so that the other divers can't really kill me in time. But basically, this safe right here is not a bad safe for Shark Highways. It's not the best. I think the first one is the best, which is why I should be the most aggressive on the first one and the second most aggressive on this one. The other two safes are, however, very bad. So that's why I'm trying to be as aggressive as I can on these safes in order to basically get the most out of the safes while I can. Also, as you can see, I'm not really being that aggressive here. I'm kind of just holding back, and that's because during a no-death run, you kind of want to be preserving your lives, or at least getting in the mindset of preserving it, even if you don't have to. Also, as you can see, I'm waiting in the shark shield for a diver to peek their head because they tend to do that. One decides to do it, but unfortunately, depth gives them the time advantage and allows their net to get me. But I'm able to kill the divers that kind of stay outside when the shield goes away. That's why for divers, you always want to be making sure that at the end of the shield time, you are inside. So you want to kind of like get back inside a little bit before it ends. Because if you don't, the sharks are kind of just gonna kill you. Now, as you can see, I'm kind of waiting for the divers to come out. One decides to come out, and I miss and miss again. It's kind of sad, but luckily the diver's as lost as me, so I'm able to get the kill and preserve my no-death run. It was very embarrassing. Also, there's this diver straggler who he wasn't moving with Steve and the other divers, so it basically just allowed for an easy kill. Now at this stage, I have 17 kills and haven't died once, so it's basically an assured victory, but it's still good to get in the mindset of being preservative. Now, as you remember in the beginning, I did say missing is completely fine, so stuff like that, instead of me continuing to try and kill him after the first attacks, I definitely wanted to get out of there because I want to try and not die at all this whole game. Unless at the end, if you have enough points and Steve's almost at the safe or at the magnet, you probably then want to die in order to get all your upgrades. Now, this guy, he still stays over in that area, kind of away from fire from the other diver, so as you saw, I was able to kill him and then basically just go and heal, and now I'm ready for a whole nother attack. Which, also another thing, you always want to be healing after every single attack. Unless there's a diver that you can easily kill who's like all alone, you want to be going to a seal after every single attack. Now, as you can see, the diver goes back to the same spot, kind of away from the other diver's line of fire as you saw me check first. I'm also a little bit nervous he has a mine, so you see me slowly kind of go in, but once I noticed he didn't have a mine, I just went in, lunged, grabbed him, and escaped. Now, I do want to mention, while I'm kind of just waiting here, just looking for a right entrance in order to attack, you are probably not going to get matches that are as successful as this if you haven't tried this already. I have so many hours in this game. Like, my hours have hours in this game. It's a lot, so don't be discouraged if you're actually not performing as well as me, because I have hundreds, if not even close to maybe about 1,000 or 1,500 no-death challenge matches. on top of all my other matches that I play, so don't be discouraged if your gameplay isn't the same as mine, because this no death takes a lot of practice. Anyways, back to the game at hand. I've come to the realization at this point in the game that I'm not gonna win if I keep doing no death. Every time I grab a diver, I'm gonna have to go to the seals, go back to the diver, go back to the seals, and Steve will get a win at this stage in the game because the divers just have too many lives. So you're gonna basically see me still trying to like lazily do the no death challenge, but I am perfectly fine with dying. In fact, I actually kind of need to die at this stage so that I can get the upgrades needed to stop Steve. So as you can see right there, I kind of just let myself potentially die. Unfortunately, the divers didn't kill me, so I took the escape and I kept going out. But then I go kill this diver, do another escape, and I know the divers know which direction I'm in, and I don't really care to stop that because, like I said, I need to die. And then I kill this diver, and luckily I'm able to die. So now I can get all the upgrades, go beast mode, and hopefully I can stop them before Steve gets to the magnet. That's kind of the whole stage of the end game with no death. You kind of have to make sure that you get enough points so that you can just actually just beast mode the end of the game. So as you can see, with adrenal glands, which I think is a very underrated upgrade, I know a lot of people use blood rage, which is perfectly viable. I'm actually a fan of adrenal glands, so you'll see me at like the end stage here, kind of just getting attacked, but every time they shoot me, I gain some stamina and allows me to just keep going back and forth between all the divers. Unfortunately, I die because I'm a little pleb. I'm a little cringe muffin. But luckily, I'm able to come back. I know Steve is at like literally the end, but because I have all the upgrades I need, the divers are not gonna win this. I'm able to keep weaving in and out of the divers because I have all this stamina, all this health. It's just too difficult for the divers to beat like a very late game tiger. Alright, so at this point I've basically given you one of probably the most helpful tips I think I've ever given on this channel, and I've showed you a match, basically me utilizing this tip, which is the no death run. Now I know this is basically coming across, and basically this is for people who struggle with survivability, so I know this is coming across as me basically telling them, hey, if you're bad at surviving, try the survive challenge. Which is so silly, but like honestly this is kind of what you have to do, and I hope that maybe my gameplay helps kind of clarify what you need to do in order to be better at surviving. You really got to utilize those shark highways and stuff like that, and honestly you'll probably see huge improvement after like maybe just a dozen games of this as well. You don't have to do like the thousands of no death challenges like I've done. You could probably just stop after 12 and notice a significant improvement in your gameplay. Anyways, with that said and done, I'm very glad I was able to get this video out. I know I haven't uploaded it in kind of a little bit, and it's very unfortunate, but your boy is a little preoccupied, I might say. So hopefully I'll be able to get a couple other videos out really soon. They'll probably be horror games, then I'll go back to some depth, then back to horror, but basically the usual that I've been doing. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun goody stuff that YouTubers normally ask for, that I'm asking for. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be sure to eat all your veggies and license plates. Peace.